Our next speaker, Jay Wiggins, is an award-winning speaker, having finished in the top 3 in previous area contests. Today, we have a little bit of history because I left him a voicemail yesterday that got the dreaded red flag of too much length. Yes, my voicemail was so long trying to encourage him to speak today that he just deleted the thing out of hand and called me. So let that be a lesson to you. If you really have something long-winded to say, just call someone. Don't leave a voicemail. We've heard many wonderful speeches from Jay over the years. I'm sure this one will be just as entertaining. Speaking today on The Habit, please join me in welcoming Jay Wiggins.
Okay, everyone, put your hands up like this. Put them together. Now look at them. What finger is on top? Maybe it's your right, maybe it's your left. Now separate them and do it opposite, one notch off. Put them together. How does that feel?
That is so wrong.
It is so wrong. That might be a habit developed. Putting your hands together like this. Now think about this. This morning, I'm sure most of us drive vehicles. Walked up to our vehicle, chirp, chirp, got in, seatbelt on, foot on the brake, key in, started it up, and we drove here. Can you think about that whole process you went through today or any day? Can you imagine doing that step by step? Getting out your keys, pushing the unlock button. Where is my car? Oh, that's right, it's in the garage. Going over, opening the door, going to sit in the chair. Wait, no, I sit this way, that's right. People sit in chairs this way. I forgot how to sit in chairs. But no, what we've done is we've developed all these habits that we unconsciously do throughout the day, throughout everything in our life. And right now you're wondering, why are we doing these things? Well, folks, the Power of Habit book will explain all of this to you. But the simple explanation, if you don't want to read the whole book, is that your brain loves to do things easy. You know why? Because it ends up allowing you to focus on other things. Maybe you were thinking about that meeting on the way to work. You weren't really thinking about driving. But guess what? Your reaction time and everything else, because of these good habits you've developed, made you probably a better driver. Let's talk about the 3 components that you have to have in order to build a habit, both good or bad habits. Number 1, a cue. That's something that's a trigger, something that snaps, something that initiates what's going to happen next. The next thing is routine. This is simply the physical, emotional, the behavioral thing that you actually end up doing. And then finally, a reward. And it goes like this. Cue, routine, reward, and you repeat. You built your habit right there. Someone give me an example of a habit. Good, bad, doesn't matter. Anyone, speak out.
Eating apple fritters.
Eating apple fritters. That is an excellent one. So let's talk about smoking. Tobacco specifically. Thank you, Jeffrey. Tobacco usage. That's the routine. Someone smokes, someone chews tobacco. I can relate, and I'll tell you how in a second. What is the reward they're getting? Well, maybe they're satisfying the craving that they started to have. So that was the cue right here, the craving. And then the tobacco is the reward, craving, gone. Or maybe the tobacco cue was that they were bored initially. Maybe they just needed something to do. So they did tobacco, and the reward was, I'm not bored, I'm fiddling around. Now you're starting to see why people can't quit things very easily, because everyone is different. And the way they cue things and the way they reward themselves are different for every habit. That's why it can be very difficult to change these behaviors. Next, let's talk about how we could actually change this. There is a process. Number one is the easy one. It's the routine. Identify it. What is it you want to change? Stop eating apple fritters. Stop chewing tobacco. I mean, lots of things. Put it in there. So for me, here's mine that I've developed recently, because I have to do a personal story in this speech. Tobacco. I golf with my buddies, maybe a couple times a week during the summer, and they chew tobacco. So when I'm golfing, my buddies are chewing, so there's probably peer pressure. I chew tobacco. My reward is I'm distracted by my bad golf game, and my buddies think I'm really cool because I'm chewing tobacco and very manly. So number one, I identified I chew tobacco. My reward is the next easiest thing to identify. What's it really satisfying? Peer pressure, gone. Or it's a distraction. This is the hardest one that you do next, and it's number 3. And that's where, is it really peer pressure? Am I chewing so much? It's now become a point where I'm addicted, and now I've changed this whole habit loop? Who knows? But number 4, the last thing we got to do is have a plan to change this. And actually consciously think about this. In summary, we've learned a little bit about why our brains make habits. It's easy. We've learned the 3 components of habits. We've also learned a little bit about the process to change some of these habits. Okay, everyone, put your hands up. Put them together. How many of you switched it like I initially said? Not one of you. That's why changing habits can be so difficult. Now do it again. Stop. Think about it. Now put your hands together. Congratulations. You now have the power to change your habit. Thank you.